Junkyard Junkie, back here with another video. Today we're going to do a how-to basics of changing a tire. If you ever found yourself on the road and having to call someone like AAA and paying all that money, this video should be helpful to you. This is a good beneficial skill for anyone to learn. That way you know how to do it if you're ever in an emergency situation. Okay, so in your trunks, you should be able to pop your trunk, and underneath whatever they got there, this has a lining and then has a fold-away door that'll let you get to your tire. So we're gonna go ahead and just take it all out so we can access everything. Okay, so this is your donut tire. You should have this in your car unless someone's already used it and didn't put it back. They're usually pumped up to about 50 or 60 pounds. This one's 60 pounds, where a normal tire is between like 32, 36, somewhere in there. So every now and then you want to check your tire to make sure that it's got the right amount of air, because if the accident ever did happen, you want to be prepared. Okay, so here is my battery terminal. This shouldn't be back here, this should be on my battery to hold it down. So I'm going to take that out. If you look back there in the very back, you'll see my scissor jack. Other good things to keep in your trunk are stuff like the jumper cables. If your car ever goes dead, or if you need to help someone else out, you have them in your car. Now to get this out, we're going to just remove all this stuff from the padding here. And then with our lug nut wrench, we'll take off this bolt that's holding the tire down. Now some cars will have little other unscrew things where you don't have to use a lug nut wrench to get it out. I'll try to splice that in right now. Okay, so as you can see here, inside this trunk, just move a few things out of the way. So we'll just take the liner out now. If you look, there's piece of wood. Okay, so as you can see, it's got a little cap on it to hold it down, and you could put the jack in there, but this car has a little hole for it. Okay, so if you look at the left side or right side of your car, usually they'll have this little secret compartment. This one just has a twist, so you just twist it, pull it off, and inside here is your scissor jack, and down below is the tools to use with your tire iron. Okay, so now that we got that off, we're just going to lift this out, move it, and pull out your donut tire. Okay, as you can see, my scissor jack is held into place with a lock. Usually they have a certain spot they go. It may not be locked in, but this one you just unscrew. Pull it out. Okay, so here's your scissor jack. This is only for emergency use. You don't really want to use it all the time. And honestly, I would recommend just getting a small little jack like this. Most trunks have a real deep compartment, so you can fit that in there, and it's faster, easier, and safer than the scissor jack. Scissor jack works fine in emergencies, so don't be scared of it. And then finally, all we need is our lug nut wrench, or you can get this collapsible 4-way. This is what I recommend, because one, you can get more leverage. All you gotta do is push these little collars up on there and they'll lock in place, so you can get more leverage. And if other people break down, they don't have a lug nut wrench, you'll have this in here to help them out. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to come over here, take your lug nut wrench, get it on the lug nut, and what's the easiest way to do is take your foot, just push down. You just want to break them all loose. So. Okay, now that you got all of them broke loose, what you want to do is you want to go and find your pinch weld. Okay, so if you come to this side of the wheel and just go underneath, I'm going to shine a light so you can see it better. There's your pinch weld, right there. So with a scissor jack, on one of the ends, it'll have a way to jack it up. All you gotta do is twist it to the right, and you can see it will start lifting up. That's where a tool made for a scissor jack comes in handy. This was also in the back seat. As you can see, it has a picture of where you're supposed to jack at. Okay, so we're just going to put it under here, turn it by hand until it gets up here to the frame. Make sure it's aligned with that pinch weld. Okay, once it starts getting tight, we're actually going to use this tool to jack it on up. I'll show you that now. Okay, so at this point, with your lug nut wrench, you should be able to see that it has this little special notch, and then this little hook will go right in here. That notch is for this. Stick that on there. We're just going to jack it up. Once your tire comes off the ground, you can stop. Take your wrench back off and take that back out. As you're jacking it up, you'll see it come off the ground. You just want it to not be touching the ground anymore. As you can see here, you want the tire fully off the ground. Okay, so at this point, you just want to fully unloosen all the lug nuts. Take your tire off. Most tires have a warning. If you look here, the main thing is don't use it going over 50 miles per hour, and you also want to change it as soon as possible. Okay, we're just going to move the wheel back up. Once you got it on there, start a few lug nuts. Okay, now we're just going to tighten them up. We're going to do a star pattern, so just go one, skip one, go one, skip one, go one, till you have them all down. Okay, so once you're at this point, we're going to lower it down, and then we're going to tighten it one more time. Okay, so to let it down, same procedure. Take your wrench, your tool. So for this time we're just going to go the opposite way. Once you get it so far, you can just do it by hand. Okay, so from this point, after you're done tightening it up, you just want to make it home. So take the back roads, don't take the interstate or any major highway. You don't want to go over 50 miles an hour or drive across any kind of conditions that may be rain or snow. And if you do, be as careful as possible. Okay, so once you get done with that and you got your new tire back on, you want to go ahead and put your spare tire back in your trunk for emergencies. You want to make sure your scissor jack's back in there and everything's back where it's supposed to go. That way you can get to it if you need to get to it. Then remember to put your cover back in. And finally, we'll put in our trunk liner. And that's all there is to changing a flat tire. If you found this video helpful, please give me a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you.